John from Freedom Force Talk Squad. And here we have a Keillor Rant brought to us by Hops and Robbers Grapefruit IPA, a 5.9. I've never tried this before, but I'm a sucker for these craft beers that have a grapefruit in it. Not bad. 5.9 doesn't taste like 5.9. Smooth, refreshing, and strong shit. Also, this Keillor Rant is brought to us by Jackson Abrams Artist. If you want to get some quality visual art, it's a little edgy, and as you see here, some edgy art right here. Go to Jackson Abrams -artist. Just click into that and bring up his Wix site with Jackson Abrams 71. Jackson Abrams, fun artist. Okay, let's talk about feminism. The issue is semantic. We have something really hard to talk about because feminism means something a tiny bit different to every woman. That makes it hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a growing number of cool women in the West who are like, okay, yeah, mission complete. Thanks, feminists. Why would I be a feminist now? You know, now we're all out hustling, making babies and careers. That was a success. But just like in government, when you create any kind of new department or new service, you create a cottage industry, and its mandate is to stay alive and grow. And feminism is no different from that, or like any religion. Because you have now feminism that is anti-woman. The intersectional feminists have created a situation where if a young lady of indigenous European birth gets raped or groped or assaulted by someone who is new to that part of the world, if she complains about this, because there's some cultural difference where like she's not allowed to wear, I guess they don't wear a lot of short shorts in Syria, I'm guessing. You know, you don't see a lot of hot chicks and gay guys in pink plastic short shorts in Syria for some reason. I don't know, some kind of cultural difference. But women will say that a woman complaining about being raped by some dude from over there is evil. And this is the 180 of the progressive cancer that has made the once merely laughable left into something really vicious and disgusting. As a former leftist, I am not really interested in the left. I want to ignore it. The left doesn't want to be ignored, though, of course, because it is a woman and it doesn't like the world. And if you want to know why I'm connecting the left with being a woman, you have to go back to the film Thelma and Louise. Not a bad movie, actually. For what they were trying to do, they did a good job. Like, you know, nobody failed in their purpose. If you want to be sold that narrative, well done. And there is in it though this scene where Thelma and Louise are riding through the night, and there's a music playing. I forget her name. She's like a New York artist, singer. It'll come to me in a minute. I apologize. Anyways, it's like an epic, yay, I'm driving and free in the night in the desert, and she's with her best buddy, and Susan Sarandon looks over at Louise, who played Louise. The actress I prefer, actually, name will come to me in a minute. She looks at her while driving and just smiles. And, like she just looks over at her sleeping buddy and smiles. And I was like, what does that smile represent? It was put there really deliberately. They gave it a whole, gave it a lot of setup. What she was smiling about was her character was smiling because she was not around any men and not totally miserable. She had found a moment of happiness with someone of her own gender. This is how feminism works on a deep psychological level. It's this feminists want women to enjoy each other's company without dudes. Good luck. And I know it is possible, and I know people do it. But it's also true that men and women are drawn to each other, if not exactly the same kind of way. Like, women have more fun with men than they do with each other, and men are drawn to women for sex. And so there's this feminist idea that we're all kind of interchangeable is frustrating, because that's not what the world really is, and that's not what our biology is. Feminism is not just intersectional. There's also its original foundations, like the English and American suffrage movement, whatnot. As it has progressed, it's gone from being completely reasonable. I want to be able to vote. It's like, if you vote, you have to fight in war. Oh, I don't know. Then they have a fight. Do we want to actually, so equal rights. So women managed, because women are pretty smart, to get the equal rights without having to go to war. And then the feminists are like, no, we can go to war. Like, no, you can't. Really? Like, me being captured by a bunch of soldiers enemy soldiers is a very different situation from some lady being captured by enemy soldiers. The outcome will not be the same. Maybe more the same than I would prefer, but ultimately, you don't want women in that situation. Do women want to be in that situation? Probably not, right? And yet, there's this shocking through line it's shocking because, like, if you touch it, it zaps you. That feminism is a good thing. People think this. And it's really frustrating because it's almost like pretending we're, like, still at war with Germany or something like that. It's like, oh, we have to go fight the Germans before they, before Merkel got in. Right now, like, I'm not a fan of Merkel or her state. But F the deep state. Women have to admit that the war is over, right? Rather than yell at the guy next to her. And you see, I know fucking wonderful guys with wives who just blow up at them just because, no reason at all. And I see it all the time. And these are women, though, and if you say to them, and they're feminists, they're all feminists, and you say to them, well, how about, it's cool that you can, that you live here, because if you did that in Iran, you'd be buried up to your neck and people would throw rocks at your head until you died. It's a very different situation. Here, you just basically tax the heart and soul of the man who loves you, who's awesome, and you're being a dick. And for all women who don't treat their men like that, you're awesome. Give as good as you get, but the modern middle class Canadian Western feminist not housewife, doesn't really know what to do because she's been given no clear message except to be enraged at the status quo, even if she is the most pampered and looked after person in the world. And yet there are, the heart of the man and the heart of the woman, they're not the same, So one of the things that can really affect a woman's heart is the idea of helping, saving someone. It's a different kind of process. Jean-Paul Sartre in the Roads to Freedom series had this great scene where this woman was walking with a bunch of French refugees into Spain, and she had a 4-year-old with her, and she had to take care of. But because she was a communist, she had to run around trying to help old ladies with their luggage and shit, even though she's got this dehydrated, terrified child. And that kind of airheadness, which goes from being adorable to genuinely retarded sinister, that's really at the core of the modern feminist today. I'm not talking about the feminists from the 80s who are you have to put a condom on because they said so. Okay, you got it, babe. Yeah. Bring back the 80s, by the way. If women have to start saying to each other, I'm not really oppressed by dudes, so I'm not a feminist. I don't know what the point of being a feminist is. And of course, many women will disagree with me, but it has to be said. It has to be said. It's like maybe it was ridiculous when the left was saying, hey, white guys, yada, yada, yada. And now here I am going hey, rational women, tell feminists to stop it. So maybe there's a comparison there that makes this impossible. But I think I think it's just a really good idea for people to start barking at each other again a little bit, because we have all these weird swirling neuroses of untalked about stuff because we're afraid to tell feminists to shut up because we don't want to lose our jobs, and we don't want to be put in jail, and we don't want the social stigma that goes with this kind of with standing up to you feminists, and it's not like calling not all women are feminists, not all feminists are horrible feminists either, but there is a kind of a blind eye going on, isn't there? It's a blind eye to the fact that there are excessive, terrible people doing stuff in the name of feminism. And other women go, oh, that's too bad, without ever questioning what team they're on, right? It's important to side with us, women. Just we're on the same side. If some dude's a dick, but in general, there's this whole culture of separating us through identitarian control and feminist ideology, which is now part of just the intersectional Marxist nonsense. It's absolutely unacceptable. So let's be done with it, and let's get back to liking each other a bit more. There's way too much division, and all the casual sex, all the anonymous sex won't work. It won't fix anything. Everyone's looking for love, and we have to learn to love each other again by talking again. And feminism absolutely doesn't want that to be the case, to be dealt with, because feminism is part of the left, and the left needs misery in order to be necessary. They need to correct a problem. We're the problem for some reason. Dudes are because we're here. The patriarchy is a thing, and it's a despicable lie, and like some men treat women like shit. Some women treat men like shit. If we're all adults, we're gonna like know better than to be stuck on bad people. And feminism will say like, well, no, there should be no bad people. The problem is bad men. Like, it's a terrible theory. It's a terrible philosophy. You know, there's going to be some people, and people make each other bad, right? People will make each other worse, and people will make each other better. And so in closing, feminism sucks. It's cancer, and because it's something that's necessary, that was necessary, that is no longer necessary. It's now just a malignant thing. It's like getting a flu shot every day. It's like, oh, I already got my flu shot. And hang on, wait. Intersectionalism, like, you know, that's gonna be it for now here at Freedom Force Talk Squad. Remember, in the springtime, we're gonna start doing our walk parties. We're getting that sorted out. It's gonna be completely unofficial and lots of fun. Check out Josh's Freedom Force Gaming on Twitch. Jackson Abrams Artist. It's a Wix site. It's great stuff. And some bands I like right here. So that's Johnny out. You're freer than you think. Take care.